All right, hello everyone. Super excited about this next talk. Thank you for joining us. Next up we have Fat App versus Fat Wallet Thesis. Where does user ownership fit in? Giving this talk is Nitya Subramanian from Para. Sorry, I believe it's Para. And if you could welcome Nitya to the stage, and we'll get to going. Thank you. Oh, you don't need a mic. Just kidding.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. So today we're going to talk about fat apps and fat wallets, and more importantly, what happens to users in the middle of all of this. A little bit about me. My name is Nitya. I'm the founder of Para. We make it easy for applications and ecosystems to onboard users into crypto wallets, get them funded, get them transacting. Basically, the set of developer tools that offer easy onboarding and easy interaction with blockchain for both devs and end users. Just a little bit about Para. We're a wallet and authentication suite for crypto apps. We do Web 2 and Web 3 logins, universal wallets. Security is something that we take. We have a lot of different modules that provide MPC-powered security. We use a lot of passkeys. And we support EVM as well as several other ecosystems listed here. So let's get to it. What are fat apps and fat wallets, and why should we care? So the term fat is actually a hearkening back to a 2016 blog post called the Fat Protocol Thesis. And the Fat Protocol Thesis basically said that as the blockchain space emerges, more and more value and more kind of depth, whether it's additional layers of the product stack, additional economics, will accrue to the protocol layer. It's been almost 10 years since then. And so in 2025, we've seen a lot of interesting cycles play out around value accrual, product building. And we have now a variety of kind of interesting work happening at the client layer. So both applications and wallets, as I'll talk about them here, are usually either mobile apps, mobile wallets, extensions. Apps are really any of the decentralized applications that we know and love. And why are they getting fat? So first off, what is a fat application? Fat applications start really specific. So they might be something like a social network or a social feed, a token swap platform, a lending protocol. And as time goes on, a lot of these products have been integrating adjacent functionality. Why do they do this? To make it easier for users. It's kind of challenging to maybe have a token swap, but need to go somewhere else to see your balance. Likewise, it's tricky to have a social network where every time you want to post a message, you have to go open up a wallet and hit confirm. That switching back and forth is a big difference between Web 2 and Web 3. And as a result, a lot of these products have been integrating adjacent functionality, whether that's an NFT marketplace for secondaries, whether it's integrated swaps or name registration. The biggest one here, of course, has been wallets. A lot of apps have integrated a wallet signing layer that's purpose-built for their app to streamline the UX of putting things on chain. And here I've just shared a few examples, several teams that we work with that really just make it easy to sign transactions from within the app at the point where the user has an intention to transact. And now, what are fat wallets? So fat wallets started really general, actually. I think many of us might remember the original MetaMask UI, where I could see a list of my tokens, I could send them, but that was really about it. Now, if we look at wallets, there's all sorts of integrated functionality. Everything from on-ramps, NFT galleries again, maybe ENS registration, of course, swaps, now that's across the board, bridging, really the list goes on and on. So why are wallets adding this functionality? It's for retention. If the second I want to do something with my tokens, I have to go to a different app, I have to discover which app I can even use to swap, that's a retention challenge. And it's a place where users maybe have disappointment or maybe have confusion. And so this consolidation into the wallet layer streamlines a lot of that. So really all that this boils down to is two things: ownership and control. So everyone wants really two things. The first is ownership over their user base, and as a result, their destiny. If I'm an application and my users have to go to a wallet every time they want to transact, let's say that wallet has a bug and is down for a while. Now none of my users can use my app. Likewise, if I'm an app, if I'm a wallet and my users want to do some functionality, I need to figure out where to send them. Let's say that front end gets hacked. Now I'm on the hook. So this is really a question of, in the Web 2 world, consumer apps have been able to own their own destiny and grow really on their own without needing to rely on additional products. In crypto, we all want the same thing too. The second is control over the user experience. So likewise, not having to deal with another product that maybe isn't up to date with the latest version of my app that I shipped, or a wallet that doesn't yet show the token balance for a token that I'm using. With all of this, it's really about minimizing pop-ups, minimizing switching, maximizing the ease of getting on-chain. So this sounds pretty great in theory, right? We have all these apps, they have all this bundled functionality, and users can do everything they want in one place without leaving. It sounds pretty great, but turns out there's no free lunch. And in all of this, as apps have expanded their functionality, wallets have expanded their functionality, everyone is becoming a super app, the real kind of loss here has been for end users, unfortunately. And a lot of that has to go into fragmentation. So when every app has its own wallet, and when every wallet is integrating app functionality, we have massive fragmentation of liquidity. When's the last time you went directly from cash into crypto? It's a pretty challenging process. And when we have to onboard users into every single on-chain app, we end up having users replicate the most challenging parts of getting into crypto every single time they use an app. This is in contrast to maybe folks who've been in the space for a while longer. If you were just using a wallet with many apps, yes, there were pop-ups, but you could leverage that liquidity across the board. And so now we've run into this massive fragmentation problem where users have to onboard and onboard and onboard, and we have small bits of funds stuck in lots of different wallets. To make things worse, now if the only way to access a wallet is within the app has to add any functionality that a user needs. Let's say that I have an embedded wallet inside an app that's siloed, and I want to swap two tokens, but the app hasn't whitelisted that functionality yet or integrated it. I'm out of luck. All I can do really is export my private keys, download a wallet, and now I'm back to that pop-up UX that we were just talking about. So how can we have the best of both worlds? Have our cake and eat it too. So the first thing here is, and I think we've actually been hearing a lot of this in recent months as well, is I would say we've really swung to the other side of kind of being anti-decentralization. Let's not be decentralized for decentralization's sake. No one cares about composability or whether your app is on chain. While that may be true, a superpower that we get from building a product on chain and putting data on chain is composability. Namely, this property that if I onboard to one app, I can, and I put liquidity in that app, I can use that everywhere. I don't have to re-onboard over and over and over again. When you can sign anything from anywhere, this actually removes a lot of repeated steps. And those repeated steps are often the worst parts of an app. So this is another area where crypto experiences can actually leapfrog what we have in Web 2, where instead of needing to fund all the new apps that I go to, I can leverage the funds on chain that I already have and bring them with me everywhere. So we really want to try to seek out this experience, leveraging the crypto superpowers, but without all of this onerous UX that we've made so much progress in getting rid of. So a reframing of this problem that might help here is, instead of thinking about wallets as my wallet is one app, we could instead think about wallets as a functionality or a layer. Specifically, wallets can be a signing and liquidity layer for apps, super apps, any consumer experience. This gets us a couple of things. If our wallet is available anywhere, we can take that to the purpose-built applications that can best leverage it. The second I want to swap, I can take my wallet to an app that lets me swap anything at the best rate possible. If I want to buy an NFT, I can take those funds to an NFT marketplace and immediately buy the NFT I've been looking for. Likewise, I can use that built-up reputation on a social network to have a better follower graph. If we can do all of this without the pop-ups and without the friction, we get a few things. One, we get a faster onboarding UX than anything in Web 2. Connect my wallet and I'm done. We get the most control. The signing experience happens in the background. There's no pop-ups, no kind of weird multi-app experience. And this leads to lower churn. If I want to actually do something with this wallet that's not possible in a given app, I just take it with me. I don't have to export a private key. I only need to deal with seed phrases if and when I choose to do so. This leads to a really powerful effect called flywheels. Flywheels are something that any of us who use a wallet in crypto have experienced. It's when we go to Uniswap to swap tokens, OpenSea to buy the NFT that we've been looking for, and deposit some of those funds in Aave. These experiences help both apps and users retain their connection with these different apps while leveraging composability. We're not exporting private keys here and there. We're not manually depositing funds into every wallet. We're just bringing our on-chain identity with us wherever we choose. So what does the solution to this look like? Universal embedded wallets are our proposal for how we can bring together the best of these two worlds. So to break this term apart, an embedded wallet is, as you mentioned earlier, a wallet that is integrated within an application that allows the app to directly put actions on chain. Universal just means that a user can take it wherever they want to. And here I'll just go through a couple of features that the Para team has been working on that we think can alleviate a lot of these challenges. The first is account profiles. So account profiles are a way to kind of attach metadata to my wallet, but with a privacy layer, so that if I connect a Google account, my Farcaster ID, and my MetaMask address all to one account, that's not something that's shared with the public. That's something that I can choose exactly which contexts I want to share it in. So default private account linkages and Web 2 associations. But this also gives us the very best of Web 3, which is being able to bring our data anywhere that we want it. Maybe I want to use my ENS handle in a new application. I can just bring that wallet with me. I don't have to transfer it. This also gives apps the best of both worlds. Apps get transaction privileges on applications, meaning that if an application is a game and they're wanting to do a bunch of transactions in the background, there's not going to be a pop-up every time. There's still going to be this smooth UX. But I get to leverage the fact that users aren't coming in with an empty wallet every time with this high drop-off funding flow. And so you might be thinking, that sounds really nice, but maybe a bit unsafe. What if I don't want every app to do whatever they want to my wallet? This is where permissions come into play. So app permissions give users easy UX as well as guardrails that offer peace of mind. In this gaming example, a user might let a game do transactions in the background for playing the game, but maybe an in-app purchase requires a pop-up and a manual confirmation. And maybe an in-app purchase over $100 requires 2FA. So this, again, gives users some peace of mind along with the best possible UX that they want to allow. And it gives apps the opportunity to have this instant liquidity as well as an integrated transacting UX. This also allows this trust interface between a user and an app to shift over time. As users build more trust in a given app, they'll allow more privileges. And most importantly, everyone wins. So apps get the user base with the control that they want, being able to have an opinionated experience, integrating all the functionality they want, as well as instant liquidity and lower churn, because users don't have to export a private key the second they want to do something. For users, this means that we can onboard once and transact everywhere without having to export our private keys. And another reason why this matters, we talked about fat apps, fat wallets. Another really new kind of trend on the horizon is app chains. There are lots of new app chains being spun up, and we're actually seeing a lot of consolidation around the app layer, and app chains specifically being the central point of ecosystems. This matters even more for app chains, where bridging into a new app chain is something that ideally a user should just do once, and then they should be able to take that liquidity around with them. Additionally, a lot of app chains are creating app chains because they want to have this consistent, differentiated, best-in-class ecosystem UX. So this provides that functionality as well. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this helps us enable product flywheels. So the 3 applications on Eclipse that I want to use, or on Vana that I want to use, I can just go from one to the other without having to export my keys, without having to manage a seed phrase. I can just connect my wallet. And this helps optimize retention as well, where apps don't have to worry about losing users just because they haven't integrated a certain token pair yet, or because they haven't integrated a gallery view. Users can just go where they need, when they need. And so we'll very briefly share our solution here, which is ecosystem wallets. The way we think about this is ecosystem-specific profiles that a user can choose to connect when and where they want. So in the case of, let's say I wanted to swap that token pair like I mentioned earlier, we can use the Wallet Connect standard, which Para supports, and pick which profile we want to connect in a given case. So here, let's say there's an Eclipse token that I want to swap. I can just connect that to Uniswap and go on ahead. Similar, the next time I come in, let's say I want to connect Vana, I can do that. And then let's say I am going to some brand new NFT site, and I want to keep that wallet information fully private. A user can do that. They can decide to provision a brand new wallet just for that experience and keep that wallet history siloed for privacy purposes on-chain. And all of this, of course, we get that same security from app-specific permissions, as well as a Web 2-friendly login and pop-up free experience. So we're really excited about trimming the fat. It's been so exciting to see kind of the movement as applications become more and more consumer friendly and are growing the pie, bringing in new Web 2 users. And we're really excited to get to a place where Web 3 experiences are leapfrogging Web 2. Thank you so much.